This hike was called Acadia Mountain, which we highly, highly recommend. It was only about 2 miles, but it had an absolutely stunning view about halfway up. The peak seen here was actually shrouded in a very, very thick mist. Thick like pea soup, as they say in Maine. In fact, it reminded us of Stephen King's The Mist, which Stephen and I both read earlier this summer.
Steven just said he's gonna go look at the menu.
You gotta have chicken tenders. Yeah.
We got to Acadia today and we did Acadia Mountain hike, and then we finally got our lobster roll that we've been waiting for 3 years and had it in the most pristine, picturesque location you could ever possibly imagine, which I think was the best part, was just sitting outside and enjoying that. And now we're catching up on our reading. Steven's reading Razor Blade Tears. Look at that. This one, I already read it, and I gave it 5 stars, then gave it to him. And I'm reading Brooklyn by Com Tobin. And this is an excellent book. I'm just flying through it. It follows a young Irish woman named Eilish Lacey, who is living in Ireland and is having trouble finding work, and she gets an opportunity to move to Brooklyn in the United States. And she lives in a boarding house and works at a department store, and she's taking night classes to become an accountant, or like bookkeeper, I guess. And then she meets a nice Italian lad named Tony, and they have a romance, and then some other things happen as well. And a lot of people know this book because it was made into a movie that starred Saoirse Ronan. That's an excellent movie. So I thought I would read the book. So I'm probably about like 90% done with this book, Brooklyn, and so far I'm absolutely loving it. And then I'm also about like 75%, maybe more, done with Wild by Cheryl Strayed, which is a memoir, and another one that was made into a movie that starred Reese Witherspoon, and it's excellent. Very like fitting for this time of my life, somebody who wanted to hike the Pacific Crest Trail, who's had like quite a difficult life and whose mother passed away. And it's just a memoir of her experience, like having absolutely no experience hiking whatsoever, and then she talks about like her entire life leading up to that moment, and then like the actual hike and all the interesting people she meets. And it's very funny, it's very well written, and yeah, it's made me like change how I view trails and the people on them, and has really like impacted my love of hiking. So definitely recommend both of these books, and I'll update them when I'm done.
You think you could swim from here to there?
For how much money?
Name your price. Hello, Elsie.
Okay, Steven and I are doing Cadillac right now, which is the biggest mountain in Acadia. So we saved it for our second day. As you can see, we're literally dripping. There's absolutely no shade coverage. We're kind of on top of this ridge. I just wanted to show where we're going. I don't know if you can really see it. Can you see that, Steven?
Should I zoom in?
Yeah. That's where we're headed. Up that trail there. And you can see people on the top of that ridge line. And we think maybe that tower is the peak, which is where you can drive. You can also drive if you're not as strong as us, but obviously
If you're not as experienced
we
hikers.
recommend hiking. Okay, Steven, any thoughts?
No, just a awesome hike. Highly recommend. It is a bit warm today, but you know, we're surviving. We brought enough water, I think.
Yeah, we actually brought snacks today.
We did bring snacks, so we won't get the munchies. Fresh air, I mean, just being out in nature, seeing nature.
Did you just stay down there?
I think they would probably send out like a party. Searching party.
What are they looking for?
I don't know, it'd probably be like, get to the top of that mountain, see what else is out there.
Mm-hmm.
That's what I would do. That's what I would command my men to do. 100 sailors under my wrath.
That little bird?
Look at him go.
Yeah, he's fast.
Just doesn't stop flapping. He's getting tired though.
Can you see it from down there?
What's that?
We're all packed up and ready to go, but I just wanted to show what the cabin looks like because it's very cute. This is the front entrance. You walk in through here, and this is the shack as a whole. Yeah, so if we need water, we just refill that, and that drains into there. Do dishes, teeth, drinking water too. A little couch that could be a futon as well. It has really everything you need. Cute little corner over here. Okay, and then here's the steps to the loft, which is a ladder, which you almost die every single night when you have to pee. That's not good for me. Okay, so we already stripped the bed, but this is what the upstairs loft looks like, which is for sleeping. Has everything that you need. The fan is really nice. 2 chairs, dresser, and this is the bed, which we already stripped for the Airbnb. So cute. Going back down the steps. Trying not to die. Okay, so that's everything in our beautiful shack, which we love so much. What would you give the shack on a scale of 1 to 10?
I give it a 7.8.
Yeah, probably better with running water, but it was really fun, honestly. We swam in the pond yesterday and took like a little pond shower. And yeah, I don't know. I would give it more like A 9. I really
9.
liked it.
Okay.
Yeah, I would live in here with Steven for the
I'm
whole
a wimp.
summer.
I guess I'm a wimp.
Yeah. But yeah, today we're leaving Acadia. We're gonna go get breakfast sandwiches right now and then go to a laundromat over in like a bigger town and do our laundry. So yeah, we loved it. Love Acadia. Good morning. Beautiful Camden, Maine this morning. And we're just waking up early. We have breakfast downstairs at the bed and breakfast at 8, but I wanted to give a quick reading update, which is that I finished Brooklyn. This was an absolutely wonderful novel. I think the end is probably where people think it goes a little bit off the rails, but in my opinion, I thought that he was exploring the weight of choices, and it's not as always as like cut and dry to make choices in life as you think. And I just thought it was very, very, very lovely. For people who don't know what this book is about, I don't think this is a spoiler to say like that the protagonist, whose name is Eilish Lacey, she has to make a decision, and it's kind of based around like leaving Ireland and living in the United States, or like returning to like her childhood, everything she knows, every friend she's ever had. And she's quite young. I would imagine she's probably 19, 20. And it's really powerful. I found it to be very astute. It's actually written by a man, and it's really one of the best novels I've ever read written by a man that actually captures like the female experience. I thought he captured the female experience really brilliantly, and he can actually write a female character, which is really lovely. Stephen King, I'm looking at you. Take notes. No, I'm just kidding, but this was really excellent. I recommend it for anyone who has a hard time making decisions and messes up, like makes mistakes. Yeah, it's okay to make mistakes when you're young, so it's okay. Brooklyn, definitely recommend. 4.5 stars. And then my other update is I'm reading The Cliffs by J. Courtney Sullivan. This is a novel that takes place in Maine, so I wanted to pick this one up while I was here. I found it at a really lovely bookstore in Bar Harbor called, can't remember what it's called. I'll try to put it in if I can remember. But this author is actually from Maine, and this novel follows, follows a young woman who's grew up in Maine, and she now works at Harvard in like the some sort of archives department. And when her mother passes, she has to return to Maine, and that's the story of what the book's about. And there's this house that sits on the cliffs in Maine, in the town she grew up in. This house was very significant to her childhood. She didn't live there, but it had played a significant role in her childhood. And a new woman from Boston who's very wealthy comes into town and purchases this house, and she's making it her own. So that's the story so far. I'm in the very beginning, so I don't know exactly what's going to happen, but there seems to be like some elements of spirituality, some elements of like ghosts, connections with past lives, future lives. Like there seems to be something actually quite astute. Yeah, so I'm not really sure about this one so far. I'm 85 pages in, so still in the beginning, but that's my reading update.